Why he fighting this? Why? What is his goal?
Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth?
Welcome back to the Immigrant section. I'm your host, Abbas Wahab. In the studio today, we got Faraz Niafattah.
What up, players?
Nosferatu.
What up, players?
You got the type of name that like comedy hosts like
Can't
have
get.
nightmares about, you know?
Can't get. But how are they doing with Abbas Wahab? Do they go Abbas?
Wahab is confusing to people, but not as much as Niafattah.
Niafattah, no one can get
Niafattah,
it.
what the fuck?
They're like, how many F's, how many T's?
Yeah, right?
I'm like, one F, two T's, and then they put two F's and one T, and I'm like, fuck, well.
Faraz is one of the other guys living this weird duality of like between corporate and comedy, like trying
That's
to get
painful.
good, trying to figure. So what's the deal? You still out in between jobs, or what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm, well, I mean, look, I'm not in any hurry to go back to the 9 to 5 because I know what it is. You know what it is. It's
a
just
nightmare,
like,
yeah.
it sucks. And
At the beginning, it seems sick, right? You're like, yeah, this is good.
Paychecks
There's a
are great,
paycheck, it's
yeah.
good. But then there's that one coworker that says something that you realize, oh fuck, this is
Yeah, you
40
see
hours a
some
week
shit.
with this person now, you know?
Yeah, dude. Or like, you know, when you see those lifers and like, that's just like a term thrown around. But dude, when you see someone who's been there 25 years, 40 years, there was this chick at the company I was at 45 years.
Nightmare.
And they gave her an award. Like they had a ceremony.
I hope they fucking gave her something.
She threw it out. She was literally like, fuck this stupid thing. I
Oh, she was resentful about her time there?
She
That's
was just kind of like,
hilarious.
this is like
jaded?
I don't need to be recognized for being an idiot. That's what she was trying to say. She's like, I threw my life away at this company because I was scared to like jump between shit and go and do other shit with my life.
Wait. Did she say all this?
Yeah. She just like went off and then she like quit at like, and she was like over 65. She was like 67 or 68. So like EI was waiting, or not EI, sorry, CPP.
CPP, all that Canada pension plan,
Oh, yeah.
all that was waiting for her.
Yeah, so
she had a
didn't care.
nice check of $1,700 a month waiting for her until death.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Benefits.
Yeah, dude. And
Yo,
then-
bring your mic a little closer.
Yeah, there you go.
MashaAllah.
Oh,
Ooh, take it easy now, buddy.
Astaghfirullah.
You just got the iPhone 11 right now,
Yeah,
huh?
dude. Yeah, fucking. I literally got this. Some guy named Abdul came to my house
Of course.
and he set this
Was he
up.
way too dressed up for the work he was doing?
Yeah, he had a leather coat on and he had so much cologne.
And a pocket square for no reason?
Yep, he came with a suitcase. He had
That
like a
sounds about
carry-on suitcase because he's like, we have to keep the phone safe. And I'm like, okay, Abdul.
Actually?
Yeah. He has it's like got a lock combination on it. So Rogers
What
has
the
this
fuck
new
happened?
thing. Rogers just comes to your house now and sets up your phone. They send a guy instead of you going to the
how's
store
that? Yeah, that doesn't seem cost effective. Why would they be doing that?
because they want to close the stores. They want to close all the Rogers.
Yes,
the
that makes total
Mobilities,
sense.
yeah.
Anytime I go by any of those Rogers or Telus standalone stores, it's just so depressing. It's always a ghost town.
Dude.
Like 100 phones on the wall, one brown dude in the back,
Just,
looking like an extra on Suits, way too dressed up.
Looking at your nudes.
Yeah,
like
way-
hacked your phone. Yeah.
Like, how is this feasible? You know?
Dude, and so this is their new thing. It's called Rogers on the Go, and then a guy comes with your shit, and then he's got a laptop, he's got his phone, he calls the Rogers call center, and he's like, I'm here at the location, I've confirmed their driver's license, the ID,
He's real.
He's
He's
real. And they're like, set it up, and he just goes through the whole process, and he sets me up.
But anytime you turn on an iPhone, the process is just like, yo,
Dude.
type in your code. What time zone are you in? Is English good with you? Yeah, fam.
Done.
And then you're set. And then you log
was-
into iCloud and it backs everything up.
It was
right?
less than that, man. It was literally, I took my phone, and on this phone, this like little image of like some kind of bacteria virus that looks like SARS showed up. I swear to God, it's like this blue
like
thing.
a default thing.
And it's like you take your old phone and scan that, and it synced. It was like, make sure Bluetooth is on both, but have that, like, dude, the image was weird.
And the phone sync completely?
It just went click, click, done. And it was like same thing moved on to this
Yeah,
phone.
that literally was. I saw you had an iPhone 5 yesterday with that same background.
That's my parents. Yeah,
That's
this is the
fucking
background.
crazy. Let's see
Yeah,
this
dude.
phone. Man, that's sexy, dude.
Yeah, dude.
iPhone 11.
iPhone
Is
11.
there any? Do these phones? Oh, these cameras are massive, though, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Like
the 11 and the 11
Yo,
Pro.
this is so much better than that piece of shit over there. Damn you!
Fuck
If you're
you.
watching this, fuck that camera. This is what it's all about, baby.
Yeah, it's nice.
Actually, I'm gonna post. Could you send me this picture?
Yeah, dude.
Just to see what the other side is.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
You don't have to send it right now,
We don't have to do that now.
bro.
but we will.
brother, we need to talk about this, okay?
Let's do it, dude. This is
So you guys are shooting planes down now, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, I was at the physio thing right now, and I was reading an article on it, and they make it sound like, yo, it's war. Iran is shooting down planes. Iran is shooting down planes. Faraz is Irani. If you're not getting the video and haven't had a chance to take one look at him.
Shouts to Iran, baby.
But man, I read this article, dude. The majority of the people on the plane were Irani.
Yeah, I know.
I thought the news made it sound like it was all Canadians.
There was 63.
There's a lot
right?
of Canadians, but I think what it is they were Irani people who were like dual citizens.
Yeah, they're
Why would there be
naturalized
63
citizens.
white Canadians on that flight?
That would be insane.
Yeah.
There would be war for that.
Not to say that their lives are worth less.
But-
They're Irani. Oh, okay. No.
But
no,
you
but
know?
like I thought it was like for sure this is an act of war. They're saying it's war and all that shit.
No, it's
but then
'cause,
I'm
like,
like,
they're all
wait, the
brown
majority
guys.
of people were fucking Irani.
Dude, I know
It's
a
not
guy
as-
on the flight.
Oh,
I
legit?
went to high school with him. Yeah, I didn't even know because I didn't read the names. But my friend went to Ryerson with this guy.
His
and they-
Facebook's blowing up. Like rest in
His
peace.
Instagram, yeah. Like I literally am following him, Mohsen. Like he died with his wife on that flight.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
they were just trying to get the fuck out of the country. And
That's a
it's
way to
just
go.
Miscalculation.
All those.
But that's
like,
on the Ukrainians, dude. They shouldn't have let that plane take off. If Iran is shooting missiles that night, it was 3:30 a.m. that they're shooting missiles into Iraq, and all these flights were leaving at like 6, 7 a.m. You got to cancel the flights. The airspace is compromised. Why are you letting people fly? The
I couldn't
Iranians
agree
are going to
more.
let
And now,
you fly.
And now all these airlines are detouring all their flights.
Yeah, well, now they're
completely
doing that
avoiding that
after
airspace.
everyone died.
Plus like 600 kilometers. Like
That's
they're literally
also
not
on
flying
that
over the
airline.
Middle East at all.
No, and the Ukraine airlines should have known better than to fly that day. Why are you flying? Nothing guaranteed over there.
But I'm sure there's a like.
You know,
Actually, you know what? Yeah.
they shouldn't have let them fly. And then also, I mean, there's so many people to blame. Like, how far back do you want to go? Because you can trace it back to Trump. You can trace it back to the nuclear deal. You can go as far back as Hillary Clinton.
Wait.
Like,
Okay, so
how far do you want to go for blame, really?
well, I looked at this. Apparently, the Iranians they grab the black box right away and they won't give it to anybody.
They don't even know how to read it. There's only like 5 or 6 countries that have the code. Like it's like Germany, France, England.
That like I work with
Australia.
because it's a Boeing
Yeah.
aircraft. They need
America.
Boeing to get involved.
Well, it's like whoever's authorized by the American company.
They're like, no, Abdulaziz will figure it out.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Iranians do not need help of other nations.
Because they
Mahmoud and Abdullah
Yeah.
have Linux. Abdullah uses Linux. He's
Yeah.
a smart guy.
yeah, he has a Sony MP3 from 2002.
He never switched to iPhone. MashaAllah, he is so smart. He will figure out black box situation. It's not
fine.
missile. It's not missile.
They think that they can literally open that thing and just like manipulate it to make it different.
Say whatever it is.
Yeah, they think they're gonna send it to Russia, and then the Russians will just like tweak it, and they'll come back as like My Little Pony.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
playing a song.
Yeah, the records showed that they were playing. They were just doing like the most pro-Irani. There was just an Iranian person in there right before it went down who said, "If anybody needs help, I will give my
Yeah.
life because it is
Yeah,
as
yeah.
an Irani, it is
Yeah.
my duty to help others."
Chick-fil-A just opened at Yorkdale Mall. Like that's the conversations on the
Yeah,
fuck
we
off,
reviewed the
dude.
black box and yeah, Iran's
Yeah.
definitely not at fault. In fact, they seem
They seem legit here.
weirdly
yeah.
benevolent. Yeah.
Yeah, except the plane was on fire. So
Yeah, the victims say, sorry, not victims, witnesses say the plane was on fire before it crashed.
yeah, because they blew it up.
And also, like, everything says like it got shot. Okay.
Dude, the U.S. said today on the news, they're like, we have satellite footage of this being shot.
Oh, legit?
They confirmed it. They shot it down.
Okay, so then
This is
the
like
question is, why? Like, was this an accident?
No, yeah, because they just
Because the
they
majority
were
of people
edge.
on there were Irani.
No,
What
they
the
were on edge. They were on edge. They were sitting there thinking, "Oh fuck, America's already sending a plane," and then they just shot it down. That's how little
'cause-
communication they have.
That's fucking scary
Between
as shit.
the
Because I
airport-
read they said that the pilots did make no attempt to return to the airport. Nothing. It's like, yeah, it sounds like a missile hit them.
Yeah, no shit. Like when you get hit,
It wasn't
by a missile-
mechanical issues.
No, it's like I can't fly this anymore.
There was no attempt to like speak with ground control, and the plane just went up on fire.
Yeah.
What happened? You know.
Also, planes are they're still using that old mentality of like there's only 2 exits. You know what I mean? Like the front and the back, or there's that one in the middle on bigger planes, and like they stock the planes with like a minimum amount of safety features. Like the oxygen is only good for 15 minutes. Like, you know, all these things, they just do the bare minimum. But like a lot of these flights, if they
it's essentially certain death if anything happens.
But dude, what if like, you know, they actually train flight attendants for like aerial exit, like put parachutes on and just fucking hope for the best and throw people out.
In a different scenario, absolutely, I vote for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for that.
But a plane spinning out of control and all that, it's just
or a
like
missile coming at you. I don't care
hits
what
you, yeah.
training Janet has.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
She's not going to do
She
anything.
just crosses her arms. Here we go. Like
exactly.
Everybody,
yeah, exactly. Put up your tray. Your tray. Your tray.
yeah. Dude, I called my MP in my riding, Rob Oliphant, who's like the Liberal MP, and I called his office today to be
You're like, it wasn't us.
no, I called to be like this was my friend Mohsen, and like I grew up with him. He was in my high school. Like, are you guys doing anything? Or are you just being pushed around by like Iranian and American interests? Are you guys investigating? Do
MPs even have any say? Like,
Yeah,
how
dude.
did they get information? Like, did they ever get?
They have departments, right? Like this MP, he is the direct advisor to the foreign minister. Like our foreign minister listens to this.
So
guy.
he's in the know, so to speak.
Yeah, this MP,
should be at
he's
least.
not just like some fucking teenager who got elected by the NDP. He's like a guy who's been in this position for 20 years.
Did he get back to you?
Yeah, they took my number and they're like, Rob's going to call you back.
He said BRB.
Yeah, he's in Ottawa. He said this is the main thing that they're spending all their time on today, is they're just investigating this further. They're getting a lot of intel from the Americans.
Well, that's so weird that even after the Americans have satellite footage showing it getting shot down, it's still in this like status of it's being investigated. It's
Well,
like,
they didn't even release it, man. They saw it happen. Like, they knew right away. They're like, this plane got shot down, but they didn't say anything till today because they were timing
because it has to go through so many
approvals and
obstacles of
they have
like,
to calculate the risk.
bureaucracy
Yep.
of like and it has to be like approved by this committee and this
They
committee. and this
slowly
committee.
start to leak it, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
The
this is
generals have
confirmed.
to, exactly. It's
They
like,
have to have a plan.
is this a risk for us by releasing it?
Yeah.
Let's give it some time. Let's see what these people say.
It's sad, man.
It's
It's like
fucked.
this guy and his wife just died. This guy had his whole life ahead of him. He's my age, right? He's like 30. And like he was actually a professor at a college, and he was teaching engineering, and he was going to get his master's, and he was trying to get his PhD so he can, progress as a
Live
professor.
the dream, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you know how like professors and students had the Christmas break off, and theirs is a little bit longer because they get an extra week. That's why he was there. He just went to Iran for 3 weeks, and I
That's
guess
sad
this
as
happened.
fuck, man.
Yeah, and he's coming back to
But
his mom gets cheated out of having a son and grandkids, and all that's done, right?
let's just hope that it was death right upon like
I hope
collision
so.
of that missile.
Because there's nothing worse than screaming.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fucking
yeah. When
freaking
half
out,
the people are dead and there's
throwing
fire
up.
and
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
breathing. Like
Yeah,
that's a nightmare. Let's just hope it just blew everybody up. Everybody died and then it dropped.
There's no way of knowing until they get the box, right? Because then with the box,
They'll never get
review.
the box.
No.
Because I was reading into Iran. Pretty much wherever the plane falls, as far as like nations like lines, they have jurisdiction as to like what to do with it.
Yeah,
So,
the
all the wreckage
Ukrainians
fell in Iran,
and
so they're like,
yeah. But the Ukrainians are trying to help because they're like, without you, Russia would have already absorbed us. Like,
Yeah.
so they're thankful to Canada and America. So the Ukrainians are trying to do some kind of thing where they can make a deal, because Russia is obviously pushing Iran right now, also being like, fuck them, don't give them the black box, let them be in the dark. But the Ukrainians are like, whoa, no, we got some NATO allies. Like, I'm not trying to fuck this up. I'm going to help you guys. So they're doing that double agent thing right now for sure.
So what can they do? What help is there to be done?
They're going to just basically right now they're in talks with, there's always a back door. The same way your iPhone has a back door, all these things have a back door. And so they're probably like, just go and actually find this thing and bring that to us, and we'll be able to conclude what happened. There's always something that we don't know about.
Despite the U.S. having, and they released the footage, or they're just saying we have
they'll
it?
never show it.
Yeah, okay.
They're just like, we're confirming that this is this. Like first Trump was like, bad neighborhood. Like,
Yeah, I actually saw his tweet. He goes, "All is well.
Yeah.
We're reviewing and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
taking a
it's
look."
like,
But that's
okay.
what else is a president to say, regardless of who's there. They may have used different literature, but
Yeah.
they're gonna say the same thing. Citizens, be cool, be calm,
Chill, everyone,
No
yeah.
Americans died on this thing. It's not war. Be cool.
Which is
Even though it might
coincidental, like
Yeah.
0 Americans on the flight. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that though. I don't
Like
know.
zero?
I think that may be more of like a coincidence. I don't know if it was like they
You never
belong-
know. There's
So-
a lot of American Iranians. Like,
So having Americans on the flight would help.
It would have changed it because now it's like Americans.
This is an attack on us.
This is It's like
So
okay,
this is the most passive way of them. They're like, let's kill people. Let's not kill them directly though.
but this is a disproportionately high amount of Canadians dying. And
yeah,
so
it's weird because and I think Americans feel the sting of a Canadian death. You know,
they're
'Cause
interested.
Like,
It's definitely news.
they're like, yeah,
It's
right.
not like a bunch of fucking like Thai people died in
or like-
Malaysia on that flight.
or whatever it is. Yeah, there's a certain portion of the world where if anything happens, the people can just dismiss it in their head, like, that's the third world, or that's where crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it
Blame
is
it
over
on-
there.
yeah.
Genocide happen. But when it's like Canadian, Swiss, French, British,
British.
Americans.
Yeah.
You know,
They're like,
oh fuck, this is like.
that's on Trudeau too. Like he has to push and be like, okay, thanks for the intel, but like we need to fuck some shit up. And
Well, luckily Trudeau's got a beard now, so hopefully his beard will be able to navigate these
he's
new
gonna-
treacherous waters of possible war.
he goes down on his wife, and she's like, "That's nice."
He's
That's
like,
new.
it's just for marital issues.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. We're working it out.
I saw an article. What does the beard mean? If you don't know, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, is sporting like a pretty like half-ass beard now.
Yeah, the
and
Sopranos
like
beard.
Canadian media was like, "What does the beard mean?
Yeah.
What could?
Means he's
What does
depressed.
this tell?" Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it means.
Right?
It means he's sad that he got a minority government.
Yeah,
That's why.
imagine just like his wife opening up the curtains in the morning. Come on, Justin, get out. I don't want to.
I don't want to shave. Okay, fine. At least tidy it up, and
Yeah,
that's what he did.
just trim it on the sides. Come on, you have a country to lead.
Yeah. I think he honestly just wanted to show gray hairs on his face to be like, stop saying
Yeah,
I'm a young.
I'm not young. I'm
40
not
year
young
old.
and hot. Look, I'm also dying.
I'm like 50 and like I have kids and like I'm not stupid. I
I'm
don't
also
know.
a man.
Yeah.
That's his
He's
way
trying
of
to be
saying
like,
it.
don't just think I'm like
I'm not
this
a
young
fuck
guy.
boy.
Exactly.
Right?
I pull my dick out and I do the same shit as you, but also I'm smart.
Yeah.
He's trying to be like, I'm smart.
Oh, imagine
thoughtful.
in a week he also gets glasses,
That-
black frame glasses.
just one
Just
monocle.
changes his look in
Yeah,
2 weeks.
What's up, Playboy?
Yeah.
He starts driving his own caddy around. He's like, fuck the Secret Service. I do my own driving now.
It's like, I don't know what Justin's
Like a
doing,
boss.
but I like his new style.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be on a fucking
He's,
GQ magazine soon.
He's kind of got no spine. That's why a lot of people are just like, fucking make up your mind, man.
Because he's liberal as fuck. You know what I mean? It's
Everyone's
like-
sitting and watching this Iran thing, and they're going to be like, hey, what's Justin going to do? And he's just sitting there like, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the intel, and like, we're working with the Ukrainians.
Let's be honest, though, bro. Let's be absolutely honest. We're Canada.
Yeah.
We're at the grace of
America.
America's military lead. There's organizational, like, government lead. We're at the total grace of that.
Yeah.
He can't step out of line, and he can't publicly challenge Trump at all in like
He doesn't need
especially
to.
in the face of war or something
Trump
like that.
Trump wants other people to be like, fuck Iran. No one else has said that. The Europeans are like, hey, we were making money, and we need their oil, so please fucking chill for 2 seconds. I know you are oil independent from the Middle East. America gets all their oil from Canada. That's done.
From Alberta, pretty much. It
That's
goes
it.
to America first.
It's all from us. It's the Europeans who are like, dude, all that oil goes to Russia, gets refined and gets sold to us. So if you guys keep fucking this up, we're going to be paying €3 a liter or more. And they're just like, just chill for 2 seconds. Stop bullying Iran.
So Europe is saying it was an accident. Just be cool.
No,
let's
Iran's
figure
just
it
like,
out."
stop this. Like, cut it out. And Trump's like, nah.
Cut what out? They
Stop
killed
the bullying. Stop the sanctions. Like, don't keep the nuclear deal. Why'd you cancel that deal? Everything was fine. Like, why are you trying to corner Iranian government officials? And why now? Like, over forever they've been there since the 80s. Like, why are you trying to pressure them now?
What was the background? I don't know. I'm assuming, based on how knowing you sound, the background of that hit on the general,
Yeah.
Suleiman or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Soleimani.
So they targeted him directly.
Oh yeah, they were waiting for him.
Why? Because he had plans to attack the States or something, or what?
Yeah,
Was he like vocal about being?
He was
like,
part of the
"War with
embassy
America"?
thing. He orchestrated the embassy attack in Iraq. He killed that contractor. He's killed a lot of Americans. Like, no one's trying to deny that he's killed like 500 or 600 Americans.
By like approving,
Like, just through
by-
proxies. Like,
Okay.
through
Okay.
through his leadership.
Yep. Yeah,
like
yeah.
through his
5
direction.
or 6.
500 or 600, yeah. 500 to 600.
Oh, to 600.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's like pretty much like on a FBI's most wanted, pretty much.
He was classified as a terrorist forever.
Oh, I didn't.
He
realize
never
that.
he never left Iran. That's the difference. Is he always stayed in Iran, But recently, he started going into Iraq to fight ISIS directly because they
And
need
he
a
got
commander.
killed in Iraq, right?
Yeah, they blew his fucking car up, his convoy.
What kind of missile was it? Like, was it like
One
they
of
sent
those-
the plane out to blow
A drone strike, whatever the missile on the drone was.
And how'd they get the intel that he was
They
there?
snitched on him. The Iraqis are like, he's here. They told.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told they. I mean,
So
first
the
of all,
Iraqis work with the Iranis and the U.S.?
yeah, of course, they're caught in the middle, man.
Okay, yeah.
There's
they
a
don't
lot of
have
bad
choice.
blood between Iraqis Americans and Iraqis and Iranians because the Iran-Iraq war was massive and killed millions of people, and the Americans backed the Iraqis. Then the Americans built this monster Saddam Hussein. They were like, "Yo, we gotta go kill this guy because he's just walking."
And then
into
destroyed
Kuwait,
Iraq.
destroyed Iraq, destroyed Afghanistan, and now Iran's like a superpower in comparison to all these other countries. By the way, America's using Iran as like a tool to sell their military equipment to Saudi, to Qatar, and to Kuwait, these oil-rich countries that have the money.
What they're saying, Iran is weaponizing.
Iran
they're
is
going to
Shia.
attack you. You need to get
They're
equipped.
insane. You need
buy,
to equip yourself.
Buy our
it.
Smith & Wesson and Berettas. So
they're
you can be
selling
ready.
them like planes, and they sell them a lot of shit.
Buy our Boeings
Billions of
and-
dollars,
Is Boeing, Boeing's American, right?
Yeah,
they're
but it's
from Seattle.
Lockheed Martin that sells all the fucking tanks and the
And
helicopters
the jets and
the-
everything.
Yeah, and the Saudis, between those few countries, I think it's $1.3 trillion in business between Kuwait, Saudi, and Qatar, just because of Iran's instability.
To equip them.
And they don't even know how to use it. The Iranians blew up that oil field in Saudi. They couldn't even defend it. They're just like, how do we use this missile defense shit? Because they don't really train them. Because they're like, why should we train you guys? Because then you can use that against us sometime. They sell them the equipment.
So the U.S. sells Saudi. The U.S. sold Saudi military anti-missile defense systems.
They sell them everything they want.
Well, in this scenario, I didn't even know about this oil field thing. So they sold them. The Saudis are equipped with anti-missile defense systems bought from the U.S. They weren't trained properly.
They just don't know how to operate. They can't even fly the planes.
The U.S. doesn't give like a tutorial guide to them, right?
No,
like
dude. They don't give a shit. They're like, we sold them the fighter jets. And
the Arabs are probably too cocky. Like, do you guys need someone to give it to? No, we got it.
It's just a flex. It's literally a flex. The same way in Dubai, everyone's got a Lambo and they're just posted up on it. It's the same thing. They just have all these military equipment stuff for no reason.
True.
They can't. They honestly, they don't have pilots good enough to fly those planes. They're too fast. They just can't. Like, they don't have.
So they're just sitting there.
I mean, they're trying to figure out how to use them. Obviously, yeah, but it's pretty much just sitting there.
So they have the military hardware way beyond the scope of what they can actually pilot and what they can use.
They have good military
hilarious.
equipment. And that's why a lot of people are like, why are you selling this shit to Saudi? The second something goes wrong there, that shit falls into the hands of the wrong people.
Oh, because they're just like, this F-18 is ours now.
That's a ticking time bomb, Saudi Arabia. Because they have, like, Iran has Russian weapons.
Yeah.
Who cares about that stuff? It's all old and shitty. Like these ballistic missiles.
Russia doesn't do any like new missile
They
tech.
do, but they don't
sell.
They don't sell good stuff to Iran. They just sell like whatever they can't use. They're just like, yeah, here you go. Surface to surface missile and surface to air missiles. Here you go.
Those are weak. That's what took this plane down. It was a surface to air M1.
Yeah,
I googled it.
But they can also, but dude, the Americans can just scramble a lot of those things. Like, if you know what, the second that they were loading those missiles, they already knew what they were doing. And if the Americans really wanted to, they could have just stopped the missiles from being fired altogether.
How?
Because they have the technology to spy on Iranians. They were like,
but how would they have stopped the missile?
They would have blown up that area that they were loading the missiles. Like, who in the middle of the night?
They would have been able to blow it up faster than the Iranians could have pressed deploy, like shoot?
They would have just blew it up. They always have things positioned at certain areas.
Oh, from Iraq, right? They would have.
It would have come from a ship in the sea, and the Iranians would have no idea, and they would have just launched
in like 3 minutes.
It would have been seconds, dude. They have shit that flies like the same as the Russians, like a mile a second. They would have just launched it and blew it up. But they let them shoot it because they wanted them to do it, and they warned the base It was like a training exercise. They're like, everybody get down to the bunkers. Let's see how strong these ballistic missiles are. That was literally
the Iranians said this.
No, the Americans to the base, like to the bases that got attacked by those ballistic missiles.
Yeah,
they knew those missiles were coming. They allowed them to fly that far because they wanted to test their early warning systems and all that shit. It was literally like a training exercise.
Huh.
That's how laughable the fucking Iranian response was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was a joke.
He was like, "Oh yeah, this is like a literally, huh? They set it up. This is like their drill that they didn't even have to organize. Oh, we could
Dude.
do some training with this."
The Americans have a missile that can hit ground and not explode, and can penetrate up to a mile deep and then explode. Because the Iranians buried their
Hit
nuclear.
a mile deep.
It just basically pummels through the ground and then it explodes.
And what does that like set off an earthquake? What the fuck? Like,
No, it's because the Iranians think that they can go underground and enrich their uranium, which they're doing the uranium enrichment underground in these labs. And they're
Deep,
like, we
deep
can
underground?
literally insert missiles into your labs and blow it up from underground.
did they develop this technology just for this in mind?
Yeah, they basically, like the Russians found a way to scramble drones,
Yeah.
and then the Americans found a way to scramble the scrambler. Like the thing that they shoot a laser to scramble the drone's direction, and so it gets confused.
Yeah.
They
The
figured
Russians developed that.
developed that,
And then the Americans
figured out how to scramble that thing.
that scrambler.
Yeah.
That's so that little like Cold War thing
it's
back and
chess.
forth is still happening.
It's
huh?
chess, dude. It's literally a game of chess. But people actually die. So it's like exciting to talk about military advancements, but it's like actual people who have nothing to do with any of this are dying. And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, this is getting out of hand. At one point, you're like, the technology is really cool and like how interesting is all this and that. But in the wrong hands, you can see what's happening. And also Iranians are just like suffering from the sanctions. Like whatever they think they're doing to the regime is not working.
What have they sanctioned them besides like enriching uranium and stuff like that? Like
No, it's about like medical supplies can't get in because they
Oh,
won't allow them to trade.
They're like tethering, like they're
Yeah.
importing, exporting.
And what's happening is there's a lot of Iraqi wealthy people are coming into Iran to take advantage because the dollar, like the Iranian currency, is so
because
weak.
it's a lucrative time to invest and do this and that.
And they're doing a lot of fucked up shit. Everything from just like buying things and selling it for more in Iraq to the human trafficking. Like there's a lot of Iranian women that are just going into prostitution out of necessity. Like there was a story in Iran of this Iraqi businessman came. He has a lot of money too, and he was just trying to fuck all these Iranian women because I mean they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And he was trying
They
to
are
force
hot.
himself on one of these women, on one of these girls, and her, I guess her brother or something killed him, like stabbed the guy to death, and
Yeah.
then he got put in jail. Like the Iranian,
The Iranians put him in jail.
yeah, to be like, why'd you do that?
Oh,
Like,
because he was such a prominent business owner or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like he was given so much money.
they're gonna execute that guy for doing that.
Yeah.
Just trying to, because his literally she was about to get like raped or like kidnapped or worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I thought they were extra harsh about that shit. How are they gonna kill this guy?
They're gonna hang him probably.
No. Not by what means like they're gonna kill him.
how?
Like,
Dude, it's
like, isn't this thing the type of thing that the Iranian people would be like, no, like this is a hero. Like,
no. I mean, it's when it comes to money, there are no heroes. It's whoever has the most amount of money.
oh, so this guy was like mad millionaire.
Yeah, there's a lot of this, like these, because there's a lot of Iraqis that suddenly just overnight became like very rich since the Americans have been there.
Yeah.
And it's because they're puppets. They're just like, they do their
Yeah,
bidding.
do this
And so they go to Iran. They're like, yeah, good times. Let's go party in Iran and fuck all these bitches. And then one guy's like, nah, and then kills the guy. And then they're just like, dude, you can't do that. This guy's rich. This might come back to us. It's messy, man.
The injustice of the fucking world, man. It's fucked. That's
Yeah.
I would think people would be like up in arms, like no, fuck that shit, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah. And again, it's sad.
did you see
because
that Suleiman's funeral? That aerial
That
view
was
of how many
insane,
people
yeah.
went out.
There's
That was
70
crazy.
people
I'm like-
died in like a stampede.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, where are people pissing? And like,
on themselves. Probably.
yeah, it was literally like the helicopter was doing an aerial view of it, and it just kept flying, and it was like it seemed like
Just
it was
kept
multiple kilometers covered, bridge, city,
Yeah.
like outskirts, just dent every like inch of the road was covered by people.
That's
It said
nothing.
70 people died just trampling,
Just
and like
stampede, yeah.
starvation and this and that. For
But
starvation.
that's maybe, but like, yeah, dehydration.
Uh,
That's nothing compared to the first. There was one supreme leader before this guy. His name was Khomeini. This guy's Khamenei. Khomeini, when he
Supreme
died,
leader, I like that.
yeah, they call him that. When Khomeini died, look up that fucking video of it's black and white
Yeah.
of his funeral. Dude, there was people hanging from helicopters. Like, it's insane. Like, they brought him in this glass box and people tore the glass box apart once it got off the helicopter, and they lifted his body and they moved him through Tehran, and there was like so much yelling and just chaos. They ended
How
up
many
like
people were out?
oh, it was like 10 million.
10 million.
Yeah, it was
Holy-
nuts.
How did this person die?
Just of old age.
Oh,
But they
10
were just
million
they were
people?
just they were going ape shit, and they were just they actually pulled like body parts off because they were just everyone was trying to get a piece like to hold them and stuff. Like it's on YouTube. You can literally look at
They
Khomeini's
pulled
funeral.
body parts off the
Like,
guy.
I think
Isn't
his
that
arm, like-
fucked? How does that make sense? There's 10 million people. First of all, 9.98 of those people didn't see the body, didn't touch the body. They
They all
kinda
tried,
met.
man.
And then like 100,000 were within touching.
It's
region.
not. It's just like, dude, the helicopter landed and
They
and
ripped his
offloaded
body
the body
apart out of like respect for him.
I don't know. It's just like the helicopter lands and there's like a stage, and they bring the body out in glass. It's completely entombed in glass, and the helicopter's trying to take off, and people are literally hanging from the bars of the helicopter. Like if you look at that video, it's like, this is fucking nuts.
But
Total disregard for safety, and
that's because once mob mentality. Once people get together, it just
fucked.
becomes a frenzy.
It's fucked, yeah.
So the people grabbing onto the helicopter as it takes off, they left the body on the ground, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's no reason to be clinging to the fucking helicopter.
fucking
That's
stupid.
just a mob mentality monkey
It's just
shit
nut-
where you're
it's nuts.
so amped.
it's like, you know, when people
Did they
are
end
like-
up falling? Do you see them falling?
They all start to let go eventually.
like
And the
5, 6,
helicopter
7
takes
meters
off,
away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. It's like, okay, when people are like, dude, when the Raptors won, like the chaos downtown, I'm like, buddy, you haven't seen chaos. Go look up some shit.
How many people were out at that Raptors thing? Do you ever remember seeing a number?
I don't know. It's probably in the thousands, obviously. It
Of
didn't
course.
get close to a million. But now picture 10
It looked like it
million.
might have been like 100, at least 100.
10 million. Times that by
Yeah,
100.
10. That's 100. Yeah, 2 magnitudes of order.
For
man.
every one Raptors fan, there was 100. Like it was 1
Iranians.
to 100. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
well,
the
I
same
mean-
space.
Yeah. I
Think
mean,
about
it is the supreme leader, right?
Yeah. Fuck him. There was you know, the current leader Khamenei. Have you ever noticed like when he gives speeches, he's always hiding his hand?
No, I don't think I've even seen him do a speech.
He always hides one of his hands because
got,
one
like,
of
a
his
knife?
hands is mutilated because they tried to assassinate him. They brought this fake radio.
Who's they?
The resistance?
Okay.
They brought this fake radio to his office where he had like a round table of like
yeah,
people
put on
discuss-
FM channel. Yeah, very fun.
And he started to be like, what's wrong with this fucking radio? This radio doesn't tune into any stations. It's always staticky. Like, who brought this here? They couldn't figure out who brought it there. And it like literally as he's talking about that, someone comes to like move him away because they're starting to think that it's literally like a James Bond movie, and it blows up and it just takes his hand. Like it fucked up his hand. He has no function in that hand.
Oh shit! So he's always hiding it, huh?
They tried to kill him. He literally moves in tunnels. Iran has like a whole system of tunnels. He never goes to the surface because there's always a threat of him being assassinated.
What
He
a
never-
fucking stressful
he's a-
life. This guy needs to grow a beard. He's probably already got the biggest beard,
He's
huh?
got the greatest beard.
Yeah.
He is a coward. I like how he calls Americans coward. I'm like, you're the ultimate coward.
Oh, so you even think this?
Yeah.
What do the Iranian people think?
It's obviously 50-50, right? It's like there's ordinary people who go and protest and be like, fuck this guy. And then thousands of them get murdered and put in jail and tortured and see, when you get shot on the street and you die, that's that. And that's sad and that sucks. But
It's only merciful.
it's the ones who go to jail, who get taken to jail and raped. And trust me, they're raping these women and they're torturing them. And it's not like like waterboarding. It's like pulling your nails off and like ripping your skin, peeling
like
your skin.
movie torture.
Like hardcore torturing and mentally torturing you and starving you and all this fucked up shit. That's what's
and who does this? The military
the
members?
Basij, yeah. This is the Revolutionary Guard. These are the
Wait, the Revolutionary Guard? Wouldn't they be like with people protesting?
they're supposed to be, but they're not. They're obviously for themselves. Basically, if you don't believe in God, you're fucked.
Okay, yeah, but I'm talking about these people protesting the ruler,
Yeah.
the president,
Yeah, well,
or
they're just
dictator. What is he a dictator?
Yeah, of
A
course.
Dictator, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're just trying to, I don't know. They're just trying to.
You think it's the military
Silence people.
police that's doing
It
the
is
torturing?
Them. Oh, it is them.
But you
Who
said the
runs prison?
revolutionary police is torturing too?
That's who they are. They're one and the same.
Oh, it's one.
They're all one and the same. Yeah.
Oh,
They're all the same.
that's fuck. Would you have you been?
I went once.
How old were you?
I went in 2016.
So how'd you go? You went with a Canadian passport, right?
No, I had to since my dad's Iranian, I had to go with the Iranian one.
Well, how'd you get in without giving them that military time?
I bribed them.
Yeah?
You have to.
How much was it Canadian?
700 American.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It was
And it's like
expensive.
you're good to keep going back in, or it's one time?
It
let
was
me in?
3 months. It just buys you a window, and it's nothing is guaranteed. It's like you can go there.
So it
and
was
they
still
just
a
change their
gamble.
mind. Yeah. But I'm like I'm not important to them, so they're just like, yeah, go home, man. Fuck it.
What do you remember? Like 2016 is just a couple years ago. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was your first impression? Do you remember?
I remember I got there.
This Tehran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I landed and like we went through the line and like the guy was like looking at my shit and he's like, "Oh, you're mashmul," which means like you are of age for military.
Yeah.
And then he flipped.
Like,
through
yeah,
the
but you'll
documents.
also, if you flip that page,
Keep
you'll
going, man,
note. Yeah, keep flipping, please. You'll notice the
The
stamp from the supreme leader.
Yeah. No, the stamp was from the embassy in Washington. This is how pathetic.
How does that have pull there? Oh, Washington here has cleared you. Okay.
That's the only way.
All right,
It's-
yalla Faraz, you're
yeah,
good.
you're good. Yeah, because
Oh,
I can't.
Washington? Oh, okay, good.
It's not like I can go there first and be like approved. They're
Yeah.
like, nah, you're gonna do 2 years and then we'll see.
Yeah, Sudan has the same shit. I go in with the Canadian passport. Oh,
Oh,
you
nice.
can't get into Iran with the Canadian one?
They still look at my Canadian one as soon as I get there. They're like, "Where's the Canadian one? Show it to us." But
We
I
know
have
you-
to have had the Iranian one and the birth certificate, the Iranian birth certificate.
So you said, so you were of age. Did you start sweating?
No, I was like, I'm pretty sure that we took care of this, and we did. And
You
the guy
with your
found
dad?
the stamp, and he's like, okay, because the stamp is over that guy's head. That guy's just like an admin.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. He's just
like,
a
"Oh,
pusher
true."
man.
He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
"The
a
stamp
pencil
is-"
guy.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck with this.
Yeah.
He's not even
But
looking.
it came
for a
from
bribe.
Washington? That's so weird. Is there like a big Iranian embassy there or
No,
something?
it's inside the Pakistan embassy.
Just
That's how
doubling up.
pathetic it is.
They're on the same floor.
It's literally a door that says Iranian affairs inside the Pakistan embassy
Yeah, we couldn't get our own building.
because they're not officially affiliated with America.
Oh, true.
There's no official.
It's all some backdoor shit.
It's the
That a
Swiss.
piggyback off the Pakistanis, who are the most like on the fence about.
all
Being
the
like, yeah,
stinky-
come over here, come over
all
here.
the stinky countries.
North
unite.
Korea has a small corner in there as well.
Yeah. No, I swear to God, that's how it is. The Swiss take care of the American interest over there, so there aren't any.
What do you mean over there?
Americans in Iran?
Yeah.
The Swiss are the ones that are like, we're here to speak on behalf of America
Oh, okay.
and Canada and anybody else who needs to be spoken for.
So then wouldn't that Iranian affairs thing be in the Swiss embassy or?
No, because it's just too out in the open. No one goes to the Pakistan embassy,
True.
so Americans have no idea it's even there. They just think it doesn't exist.
You can't even really. It's like that Harry Potter like 9 3/4 thing. That
Yeah.
You don't even see it
You don't even
unless
see
you
it.
believe it's
Those
there.
muggles have no idea. Those cocksuckers.
You gotta have a truly thick beard to even see
So
that
you even
doorway.
See that door. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to be magical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what we had to go through. And then, yeah, when I was there, I was like, cool. I mean, I'm not exposed to anything because I'm just doing family time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What's the mindset? Like, were you hanging out with people your age?
Yeah.
Do
my cousins are
people
allowed.
leave Iran a lot? Is it normal to be like, oh,
no.
you know, I was in.
No, a lot of my cousins have never left their village. Like, they just always been there.
And what was the conversation like? Was it just kind of like
Very-
sports and shit?
Very
or-
just like family stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what's
Oh,
up?
he's in engineering. Oh, what type of engineering are you doing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, it was mostly like, are you ready to eat again? Like, do you want to eat some more? Again?
Gotcha.
Do you want
gotcha.
a nap? Like, go for a nap.
It's actually such a simple, like,
Very
chill
simple.
kind of like life.
You want to
know?
go see the tea farm? Like, you want to go like climb
And like,
this
yeah, I
mountain?
bet the stars were so crazy,
Very clear, yeah.
like
in the
clear
sky.
as fuck.
Yeah, my dad's village is small. Like a lot of that stuff. was
Isn't it
just nice.
funny? Isn't it funny how like the more metropolitan the area where like you feel like you're in the forefront of humanity,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
less stars you see,
Yeah,
is you almost become like all the smog and light pollution gives you the illusion
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're so important because when you see all the stars, it's very grounding. You realize you're not
yeah.
shit. You're nothing.
So is a
you're an
mountain,
ant.
right?
Yeah, or a mountain.
Or an
But when you're
ocean.
in New York or Toronto with all these buildings,
to
you're
look
like,
at.
yo, mankind with the shit.
Mankind,
you know,
yeah.
you don't see stars and shit.
You don't see the natural.
It's when you go out in these kind of places, we're like, oh
a
fuck.
big forest, a big body of water. a
You're like,
big-
yeah.
yeah.
You're like, shit.
I
dude.
am.
We're
I'm
nothing.
insignificant. Yeah, yeah. That's why a lot of people are depressed in the city because they just keep wondering why they're not great.
Yeah, you got to get the fuck. You got to go to Iran. That's what I've been telling people all this time. You got to go to the Pakistani embassy.
Yeah,
Go to the
yeah,
look at the back door.
Maybe
find
not
it.
now, but like in the future, if things get better,
Yeah, don't
I
even.
wouldn't recommend it.
Don't
My
even.
dad's. I got a friend who's going there today from Sweden. He's like, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm like, we'll see what
Is
happens.
this guy suicidal?
I don't know. He's just like, I'm
Oh, but
going.
there's no way. The whole world is looking at them. They can't blow another one down.
No, it's not about that. It's like once he gets there, what's it gonna be like on the ground? Like, probably
point.
heightened security.
Good point.
Because those military guard guys, when I was there, they literally are like at every corner, like with machine guns pointed at like pedestrians. Like they're standing there just pointing guns at you. It's like
ready.
Yeah, it's like certain neighborhoods, they're just standing there pointing guns at you. Like it's not like
they're literally
they have
pointing.
them on. They're holding.
They're
them.
not at ease.
They're just standing there holding them. Like if anybody charges this building, I'm gonna start to shoot. Or if you take a picture, there's a lot of signs of like, do not take pictures, do not take.
And
pictures
what do they
of
have?
it.
Like statues and shit.
A lot
nobody
of it
wants
is
a picture of.
Yeah, it's just government buildings. Like, do not take pictures of this building. Like, do not even think about it. Do not come close. Like, it's all
Hush, hush.
Even the police station, they have these big billboards that say like "Death to America," "Death to Israel," like in English and in Farsi.
Actually,
Yeah.
Wow, that's
But I
pretty. That's
couldn't take pictures
weirdly.
of
That's
it.
ironically progressive. You know.
Yeah, they're like, we let the English know.
Death to what is it in Farsi?
Marigbar.
Marigbar, death to America,
Death to
and then
America.
also in French and Spanish.
Yeah, they have like all the languages. Yeah, death to TTC, like death to like.
You know how like in Toronto, like it'll be like welcome, bienvenue,
Yeah,
this. There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
death to. It's like the collage of
Hello
death to
and
America.
welcome
Death
to
to
Los
America.
Angeles. Yeah,
Death to America.
Yeah.
Death to America.
Yeah, they have the Korean one.
This is getting so racist.
It's fucked, man.
Whatever, bro. We're in Canada, baby. The immigrant section.
Yeah.
We're here. We're talking
Yeah.
about it, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's all. It just. I guess it's too because like like when people are like I'm Italian, I'm Irish. They have a nice place to go to. They can go back
I
to
don't know about-
Ireland and they can go back to
Yeah,
Italy.
I mean, I don't know about Ireland being nice, but
It's
they have
still
those
better.
cliffs of what? Cliffs of more.
it's
I
just
don't even know
somewhere
if
to
I'm
go
saying it.
home to.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like if there's people from South America.
But yours is still a home, bro. What I'm excited to think, and Sudan is in a similar case. It's not nearly as like military, like uproar and like
yeah,
fighting
but the separation
everybody.
with South Sudan, that was fucking nuts.
But it's also like, dude,
'Cause
the
it used
whole
to be just
country
Sudan.
was Sharia law. The whole
Yeah.
country is like Islamic law, and a huge portion of the country is not. They're not Muslims.
No,
That's
I know they're
fucked.
not, yeah.
Imagine just being like, that's the worst. Having to live to Islamic law when you're not even Muslim.
You don't wanna
So
be
the
a part of it.
separation was good in that sense, but honestly, I don't know about from an economic standpoint. I don't know if it's been super detrimental since or not.
Yeah.
Because I know the South has all the natural resources as far as like oil, and the North has all of the resources to refine and like the money to actually be able to drill it, etc. So I know they're like when it first split up, they're like, okay, so it's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
The oil, it's always like, okay, we're gonna split up, but also what are we gonna do with the oil? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Dude,
Oil's
it's like
such a money.
how long ago was the split? Like 15?
2015. Yeah,
20
5-6 years maybe we'll
Yeah,
say.
yeah, 2015.
Look, I'm saying like in our lifetimes, what I'm excited for is like the idea that in 40, 50 years, we're old, but whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like there's actual tourism
yeah,
by like white people and like
yeah.
like multiple nationalities into these places. Because I don't think they can
I want
they
to go
can
into
keep going
space.
this aggressive this long,
No,
that long. You know,
They can't
what do you
keep it
think
up.
Iran is going to be in 2060? Do you think it'll be like a super like Muslim like
This-
dictatorship?
this it's the same thing as the Soviet Union. It's going to collapse. It's going to collapse
And
the
then just
exact same
become-
way.
And
It's
then
gonna
just end up
split
being
up.
like Russia?
It's just going to split up into a bunch of different countries. And see, the thing is, Persians are just so proud of the country. Like the cat, like that's Saudi, that's India, and this is Iran. This portion, that's the Caspian, right?
Yeah.
So they are just so proud of this territory. That's why there's this struggle. Because we could easily just cut it in half and been like, this part's for the Kurds, this part's for like the progressive, this is for the Muslims. Fuck off, everybody, close your doors, done. But they're just so proud of the geography, they don't want to give up that territory. And as like they're keeping people hostage, right? The leadership there. So they're like, yeah, we want all the land. I'm not going to give you any fucking land. The Kurds in Iran, there's Iraqi Kurdistan, there's Irani Kurdistan, there's Turkish Kurdistan,
The Kurds are getting fucked wherever they are.
Syrian Kurdistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kurdistan should be its own country.
Yeah, like I
But
know
they
like
don't wanna give
Iraqi
it to them.
Kurds, they're in the same boat on the Iraq side.
They
you know?
fucking are. They got their guns pointed at everybody. They're like, who do we trust out here? Nobody. And so that's what I think will happen. The same way this was all Russia, and then all of a sudden, all these countries like Ukraine and Georgia and just showed up.
Popped up. You think the same
Kazakhstan,
thing?
It's just going to be the
Iran's
same thing.
fated for the same thing.
Yeah. If they keep pressuring them financially like this, they're just going to collapse. They won't be able to pay the soldier to be the soldier to keep people in line. And they're just, when there's no money and that dries up, people are like, fuck, I'm not working for you anymore. And they're just going to collapse.
And then 40 years from now, it'll be Iranians who are on Facebook pretending to be gay, black lesbians.
Yeah. To get
This outrages me.
clout. But the problem is Russia's still funneling money into Iran and keeping Iran going, and so is China.
Just because that area is like that section of the Middle East is like
they need their
strategic,
oil.
right?
They just need their oil.
Oh, just for oil.
It's all about the oil.
So like, yo, we're going to help you in all your military strife and whatnot, so you can give us this preferential prices on this oil.
It's like, imagine if
Are they drilling? Is Russia drilling Iran's oil, or is Iran just giving them drums?
there's a lot of people, like BP is in Iran, like British Petroleum. That company is there, like operating.
They're doing the majority of the drilling, or what?
It's a bunch. Shell is there, like the Netherlands, like everybody's there.
And oil seems to drive everything at the end of the day, huh?
As soon as they go electric, and oil just becomes this like.
But electric isn't just a switch like this.
It isn't.
You know?
That's why it's taking forever. That's why all these people are suffering.
And people, there's legislation to slow that shit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever, man.
You can't really do anything about it. I don't think anything. Like, I mean, that would be crazy if that in our lifetime, that it collapsed the same way the USSR collapsed, and it was from that, the ashes, it's just reborn. But like Russia,
but that rebirth is a decades process. Yeah, look at Russia.
It's still mafia.
They're still like, they're
But
still
that's
in that
because of
rebuild process.
World War II, and then all that Cold War shit was just too much pressure for Russia.
That's too many decades of shit and no money coming in.
Dude,
and
the
like,
weight of the world is on Iran, man, and it's been like that for like 40 or 50 years, and it's the pressure is starting to really get to the regime. You can tell because they're just doing stupid shit, like blowing up a plane, launching missiles into Iraq. They're just running out of things to do. They're literally like collapsing. These sanctions are working. That's why all this is happening. It's working. But it's like, how soon before they collapse? I don't know. They have so much money, but they've seized all of it. Like all these offshore bank accounts that these cunts have, they've seized like a lot.
Who's they?
So like the leadership guys have money situated in different European countries. There's even a bunch in Canada, America, and all these banks.
Yeah, just like just offshore stuff. They're harboring all that.
Yeah, but they're starting to just be like, no, you can't have access to this anymore. Because that's what a sanction is no, you don't get access to this.
But isn't it like, that's the beauty about putting your money in these Swiss accounts, right?
No,
Is
but
that
now the Swiss are like, you're out, you're cut off.
Oh, even the Swiss. Because
Yeah,
the
they're
idea, from what I read, the idea was that the Swiss doesn't have to adhere to these sanctions, right? Like,
No,
I don't
it's
you
changed.
can't come
the
and
Swiss
sanction
banking
me.
system has completely changed
Lit-
in the last 10 years.
So now U.S. sanctions can block the people's access to
Because
funds.
then it's like, then you don't get to trade with us. And the Swiss are like, no, you're a great client. Fuck this. Like, I don't need these Iranian clients. They're all shit. And they
So
give me
what
headaches.
happens with the money?
It's frozen.
Yeah?
It's just there.
For what? For 10 years and then it...
No, it's just like infinitely until America tells us otherwise. That's why that deal freed up money. That deal, the nuclear deal, freed up $180 billion, and then they took a lot of it and they started fucking paying all their debts and doing shit with it.
How'd it free up money?
Because they unseized it. They're like, you don't do this nuclear bomb shit, take the money, fuck it. You can have money back. And they're like, deal. And because they needed money.
Iran.
Iran.
So it freed up the money because they seized it.
And they used
They
the
took
money
it back. So now these current sanctions, you're saying it's driving Iran into a corner?
They are out of cash, man. And that's how you collapse a country. Is you're like,
You can't pay their
You can't pay your
military,
debts.
can't pay their...
but China and Russia keep buying their oil. But you know what I mean? That's what's keeping this whole shit going. So America has to find a way to...
Why is it
entice-
America's duty, though?
because they're the world police. They have to entice the Russians
America.
and the Chinese to cut off Iran. That's the last lifeline of the Iran regime is China and Russia.
Like, as far as, like, being oil clients.
Yeah, and
Once that's cut...
Russia's mentality is, I can't let America take over. Russia looks at this as a chessboard, and they're like, how many are Russia and how many are America? That's what they look at the world as. They go, okay, Australia, America, New Zealand, America, Africa. Okay, maybe we can fuck around in there and maybe get some influence. Middle East. Okay, some of these countries are ours. Some of those are America's. They look at Europe and they're like, okay, most of it's America, but they're trying to take Ukraine. That's the way they look at it. They're like, how much of this can we make Russia? And America's like trying to fight through
America's
that.
doing the same shit, I guess.
They're
right?
doing the same shit, yeah, but not as aggressively. Like, would you rather live under American rule or Russian rule?
I think the answer is pretty obvious, bro.
Yeah, it's all day American. Like, I don't need to live under some Russian fucking like neo-Nazi nonsense where I have to dance like a bear to entertain the Russians. Like, fuck that. Dance like the circus bear. Like, I don't want to have to do any of that.
Well, that's what we're pretty much doing out here on a nightly basis, bro.
Yeah.
Are we not just dancing in front of these
Yeah.
3-4 people?
Yeah, less than that. Like 2.
Yeah, I
one,
know, right?
One person and it's a show.
I was just trying to hype up I was trying to make it sound like a big man, you know?
Yeah, dude. No, but that's what's happening. And so if America can, so China would be a lot easier because China's trying to go green anyways. And they're like, yeah, oil is actually destroying us.
They're pushing electric cars hard.
Yeah.
Hard. By 2025, they're saying like every new car in China is going to be electric or
But
something like that.
China's actually the last piece of this conflict is you get China on board and you make peace with China. You're already putting so much pressure on Russia, they're going to collapse too. And anybody who's down with Russia, including Iran, they're all going to collapse together. It's going to be dominoes.
And what does collapse mean for the people in those
Financial
countries?
collapse. It just means total devastation. But what happens is America doesn't leave people hanging. The same way in World War II, all those economies crashed, like the German economy. Instantly, they're like, no, we're not gonna let you become some fucking wasteland. And then they started loaning them money and investing again. Once it's by my rules. Right?
Yeah.
So they leveled Iraq, but they rebuilt it. If you go look at pictures of Baghdad, it's like nice. They have malls and they have like Tim Hortons and like everything.
Now or
Wendy's.
then?
Now.
Literally Tim Hortons?
Yeah, dude. There's
They
Tim
have a
Hortons
Timmy's in
Baghdad.
Iraq?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Shit.
They've totally redone the whole thing.
I thought I was under the impression that it was structurally like flimsy as fuck right now without like proper leadership and all that. Like
I mean, across the country, yeah, but Baghdad is a nice place.
legit, huh?
Yeah, it's legit. It's a legit city. And
Through American funding?
Yeah.
Exclusively?
yeah, they rebuilt it. They literally military contracts.
Well, that's pretty much exactly. That's just to fund. That's in the interest of the states as well, right?
yeah, it's a stimulus
they get the
package.
contracts,
It's
right?
a business, yeah.
It's like, yo, let's fund our invasion.
Yeah.
Let's fund all this weapons we need to ensure that the people are safe and
Yeah.
that the dictator's taken out.
Yeah.
And yo, we've destroyed everything. Now let's fund the rebuilding of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just the U.S. giving themselves every no bid contracts
That's
over and over and over.
That's it.
It's
No
just the U.S.
contest.
trying to make money.
It
Build, destroy, build, destroy, build.
And it's like, fuck, I mean, like would you want to just be living in craters forever? Because if we left you to your own devices, God knows what you Iraqis.
But yeah, you built the crater. Like you made the crater.
Yeah.
I get not. Thanks for putting a Timmy's in it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. But
maybe
also-
just didn't blow it up. I like Mahmoud's.
Yeah.
I like Mahmoud's donuts before
Yeah,
the Timmy's.
yeah.
To be honest with
Yeah.
you, you know, like
Yeah.
maybe don't have all this strife, right?
But it's like, again, at the same time, people were living under dictatorship with Saddam Hussein. And like, if you ask the
But
average
I asked a
Iraqi-
lot of Iraqis. Like I have very good Iraqi friends, and like Saddam wasn't hated by all Iraqis.
Yeah, because
he ruled with an iron fist.
That's it, yeah. If you
And like
said
all the
anything about
older
him,
ones were like, this is what's necessary to rule over Arabs, because like
you need a king.
you need a king, you
Yeah.
know, you need a supreme leader.
You have
That's
to
the
have
only way it
someone
works in the
to
Middle
tell you
East.
what to do exactly.
A democracy doesn't seem to work in these regions.
Because there's too much freedom. You can't give these people freedom. They actually don't know what to do with it. It's too free. They get crazy.
Because it's like the idea of democracy doesn't jive too well with a super religious area.
Yeah.
It's like religion, it's written.
Yeah.
What is right, what is acceptable, what is forbidden.
Yep.
Democracy doesn't work with you need a king, you need a supreme leader
Expression,
that
yeah.
follows right along with that.
Exactly.
You cannot do this, you will die, or you're damned. Like I will ensure that you are damned in this life before you're damned in the next one, right?
It's very linear. They're one track minded there. It's like you have to tell me what to do and what's forbidden.
As soon as these regions become more secular and slowly like they ease off the religion,
Yeah.
democracy will find more of a footing. I
It
think
will,
that-
especially if like people are allowed to travel to Western countries to like study and learn. That's like the king of Iran.
But forget about the allow. It's just a lot of these countries don't allow access, won't give you visas. Like my cousins in Sudan, My cousin's in Sudan, bro. My cousin hit me up, and his dad is rich as fuck. So he's like super well off, and he can't go anywhere like his Sudani passport. Australia, any of these places, they won't give a visiting passport to Sudanese people because they're just like, for sure, they're going to come and stay. They're not going back if they come here.
The Iran thing has the same issue. 8 countries they can go to without visa, and it's all the fucking worst places.
Yeah, it's all the Middle East, right? It's all places you can drive to.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at least let me go to fucking Portugal.
Well, like, it's weird. Iran has like a deal with Venezuela and has a deal with like Cuba and like some other places.
Meh countries.
Yeah, yeah. So like, there's a lot of Iranians that vacation there. Like they
Venezuela,
they just go to
right
Venezuela.
now, just go from one fucking collapsing place to the next.
Dude,
you know,
it's so weird.
It's like, right? It's a collapse deal, right? We only fuck with people. You only get Zimbabwe, Venezuela,
Monrovia, Liberia is yours. Yeah, you get to go to all the places you want, and everyone's just like, I don't want to go there,
right?
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude.
The currency's all fucked in these places, right? If you have a stable currency, you're not allowed to come into this country.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and that's really too bad. My cousin, she's actually a PhD, and she went to France to like speak. She's studying biology.
The name of her talk was "Let us in."
Let us in, yeah. Let me in and
knock knock. Who's there? 100 million Iranians trying to travel.
Yeah, please. And she struggled to get that visa, hard.
And she's a PhD.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm literally just coming to do this talk. I have this invitation from this university in Paris, and they want me to come talk about like my study. She was studying some kind of like,
but you're going back though, right?
Yeah, and they were very like, what's up? Like, why are you coming?
Yeah, it's like, why'd you bring in this carry-on?
Yeah,
like, it's 2 days worth of stuff. Yeah. Well, if you're going back, you don't really need it, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. And that's the story
fucked,
of
man.
your life, man. And all it is geography. I really wish like Iran could have been, you know what I mean, like somewhere else in the world and not surrounded.
I wonder how long before one world government starts actually picking up some steam. Like 100 years, 200 years.
When we find other planets, and this one isn't the only one to inhabit. It's like, okay.
Well, we already got that Mars, you know. They just want to terraform it.
Yeah, but you have to terraform it. No, I'm talking about like when you think about like Space Odyssey. Yeah. And you think about like the story of like we found all these other places that we can just hyperspeed, like warp speed, go to through black holes or whatever it is to get to these new places. This planet becomes irrelevant. Even though we're Earthlings, and
so forget the warp speed is the tough. There's all these pretty much there's all these entities looking constantly out in space, making note of what they see that could possibly inhabit life and all that kind of stuff. And there's like a list of like places that can possibly have life, right?
Yeah.
So we're barely even catching. There's a small list. Forget about like achieving time warp speed stuff. Imagine we could let's get one place that's like, yo, it's 3 light years away, and it could for sure be good for life. And then let's figure out this fucking.
We're only really looking in this galaxy. Like we haven't been really searching, like the universe.
But pretty much,
it's just so big.
The like conventional travel is only good for this solar system.
Yeah,
you know, like within a normal human life, like.
We're going
towards. There's going to be no manned besides terraforming and stuff like that. There's really going to be no more manned flights that are like going outside the solar system or whatever. No. So like in this galaxy, that's way out of our reach of like all conventional modes of travel.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So it's like we're really like hanging on like possible breakthroughs for science in like.
But also our bodies suck ass. Like, we're only designed to live on Earth.
Bro, we're monkeys, man.
We're not good.
We're straight up just the most advanced monkeys here trying to be like, now, which one next?
We need
which
gravity.
Planet next?
We literally need gravity to be able to digest and to have muscle. And, like, without it, we're fucked. In
but
space,
you know, like in those
around.
sci-fi movies where they have like a spinning thing to produce gravity?
They haven't figured it out.
Dude, did you listen to that one dude on like... the one dude on Rogan who's talking about like the alien craft, that all those super reputable people that an alien is obviously it gets thrown out there and muddies up the whole conversation, but an unidentified craft that looks like a Tic Tac and it's all described the same.
Yeah.
And it's by like literally a military pilot who like can't at all understand, is just describing what he saw. and it looks like it's a form of travel that looks like it's bending gravity. It's using gravity to travel.
Yeah, and how scary is that?
That's and it's so sick that this is happening and there's like barely any conversation about it. And
It's
there's
just
like
so new. People are like too much info. That's what it
they're
is.
like, yeah, but Iran and stuff like that. You're like, yo, they're using gravity
Dude,
to
there's only
propel them through the air and water.
I know.
Let's talk about this.
There's just only so much bandwidth that the average person can handle. It's like, what do you have going on in your life? The girls, the job, the thing.
You're so right. You're
It's
like,
just too
yeah, but
much,
what
man.
about this gravity
just too much.
vehicle?
I remember when I was in university, I had this professor, and he's like, find your hedgehog.
What'd you study in?
Bachelor of Commerce, Finance.
Oh, you got engineering, good stuff.
And this dude, like, that stuck with me. He's like, find your hedgehog, meaning the hedgehog is an animal that's only good at doing one thing, and that's just eating grass. Finding the daisy, like what's that flower that's a weed that's
The
everywhere?
dandelion.
The dandelion. Find the dandelion and eat it. That's all the hedgehog does. And he's like, do that. Find the one thing you're really good at and just do that. Don't fuck with anything else. Find your hedgehog.
Imagine he was just like, fuck gravity vehicles. Okay. Fuck foreign policy.
Yeah.
Find your hedgehog. That's actually a great piece of advice.
That was it. He's just like, literally find the one thing that you're so good at and just do that.
When for you was the when did you start planting the seeds of doing stand up? Do you remember? Did you think about it at all?
Yeah, but like
in university, in high school,
mm,
you were just watching stand up, I'm assuming.
like I didn't really think I could do it. First of all, I just thought you're chosen somehow.
Same.
Yeah, everyone
Same.
just thinks that. It's like someone knocks on your door and they're like, "We heard you're funny."
The
and
truly funniest people are like found.
Yeah, found. And then I guess I did a Google search and I found Second City, and then I went to Second City first and did improv.
Oh, I did it too.
Yeah, and so I did that.
When in university?
What year was that? Fucking 20. Yeah, I was definitely done.
You're like, this
school.
is 6 weeks ago.
I was done school. I was probably 2 years out of school.
Okay.
I was like 24.
Okay, so you were working an office job.
Yeah.
Being like, okay, there's got to be something else. Like your inside was telling you.
It was on fire.
Yeah.
I was like,
Same
this
here.
sucks.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same
And then
here.
I went and did that for like 3 years. And
You
then-
did you did improv for 3 years?
I think so. Yeah.
Were you doing it? Did you do
1, 2,
all the
2
levels?
2 years,
A, B, C, D, E?
I did A through E. I did the conservatory. I did some other shit after that too.
I had no idea.
I did all that, and then I just did nothing for 3 years after that.
Yeah. Okay.
just
You
quit.
did all that. Here's the thing, though. The improv crowd is a different crowd.
They're totally different. They're actors, man. That's
Yeah.
why.
The improv. Well, I mean, I consider myself a pretty good actor, and like I know good actors.
Yeah, but
The
some
improv
actors,
are different.
they're improv actors. That's why.
The improv crowd is like
Uppity and like
the
very
improv.
receptive.
Like imagine all the kids in high school who got noogie or who got like
Yeah.
noogies and who got wedgies,
Yeah.
and then put them into a space and be like, now the bullies are gone.
You're safe. Yeah.
You're safe.
Do now be
We're
weird.
in a pharmacy. You're a doctor.
Yeah.
Go. You know, like that's
Be as weird as you want. No one's gonna judge you.
literally the improv crowd was just like they were a little happy, a little too happy go lucky. I mean, obviously, who the fuck am I to judge? But like I did it.
Yeah.
But like I remember it was a new class. Right at the end of the class, they're all like, "Yo, let's go for drinks and foods," and they all went together.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like,
yeah. We're a
what
family.
the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, dude. it's
Coming
very-
from like comics, we're all like literally 6 of us are in a room, and we see each other every day at 2 or 3 shows a night,
yeah.
and we're just all in our separate corners
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
dude.
dark.
But
And
think
I'm like,
about-
and I breathe easy in those scenarios. I'm like,
You like
thank
it,
God
yeah.
no one's talking to me
That's
right
why
now.
you're stand up and not an improv
Right,
actor.
right. I'm like, thank God no one's talking to me.
Yeah. But dude, that's the culture of improv. If you look at like when they look at John Candy and all those guys who came up together, it was a group. It was a troupe. They call them improv troupes. There's no such thing as a stand-up troupe. They're just stand-up comics.
Because
You
stand up is
stand
all
alone.
like you think you're the funniest.
You stand alone.
You stand alone, which
That's
I
why-
much prefer.
That's the culture of stand-up. That's why it's always like you shit on each other and you step on each other to get a forward, and that's just what it is.
It's like, yeah, we're just doggy. It's the most doggy dog
That's
thing.
just what it is. And some people love that, and that's why they do stand up. And they're just like, fuck the community. I'm in this for me.
I mean, that's how, at the end of the day, with stand up, like how do you feel about when people like come to a show and quickly dip right after? You know, there's people that have the mindset like, hey, stick around for some sets and like be part of the thing. But it's like, yo, I'm of the 2 mindsets where I'm like, I get it.
But that's
You-
an improv thing.
That's
like,
an improv mindset to be like, stick around.
and,
Yeah, yeah,
support each other.
Yeah.
And support live comedy.
You're like,
and
yo,
love
I'm
each other.
trying to do more spots. Like, I'm trying to get as
trying to
funny
bounce
as
around.
possible. I'm prioritizing my own shit.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's what it is.
For
And
ya.
it's no hard feelings, but there's some people that just can't stomach that because they're like, how could you be like that? It's just the differences of ordinary people. This guy's different than that girl. Is different than this guy. Is different than that.
I had no idea you did improv. Did you ever do like a troupe? Did you ever get a little troupe together and do shit?
No, I just did whatever the class had. So the class was, here's a class on Wednesday. You do this show on Sunday, and then on Thursday you guys can meet
The
up.
built-in stuff, right?
It was like whatever the thing was, I just did. I was there and I was at the SoCap, Second City SoCap doing shows.
You know what annoyed me about improv? Every time I would always be the one who took things to the inappropriate place.
Yeah,
and
and
my
then-
fucking instructor would stop the class
Yeah, to single
and
you out.
pull and pull the fucking. They had a laminated fucking policy thing.
Oh, to be like, yo, Abbas.
Remember
read
the
this.
Second City policy? Like if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
bring
yeah.
up rape or
What?
something in like the scene
Yeah.
or something like
Let
that.
me wipe my ass with that.
Yeah, they just literally stops the thing and be like, Second City, and she brings up. I'm like, oh my
Hear
god,
ye,
don't-
ye.
just
Second
let it
City.
end.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's not like, how are you not dying a little bit grabbing that laminated piece of paper and going through this fucking disclaimer?
I know. And,
What the fuck are we doing in this room?
the
We're
rights.
in a room right now with 6 people coming up with make believe scenes, and you just
This
grab
is practice, yeah.
and you
This
just
is
grab the
literally
rule
practice,
book.
Yeah.
Remember,
This is
no one
training.
is to be. This is a shit.
Yeah, it's
the
stupid.
fuck up.
And also a lot of that improv stuff is just, it's controlled too. You think you have like ultimate expression in improv, you don't. And also, how much does it suck to bomb in improv?
Oh, it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare, dude. When you're
But I
up there
also,
by
like-
yourself and your fucking team isn't helping you and you're just bombing.
That's what I don't like, because I'm always like, that's why I'm a stand-up, because I
Yeah.
feel like I have the funniest idea.
Yeah, I
Like
just want to be me.
I want exactly.
I don't wanna
I
be
have a
eggplant.
funny way. It may not be the funniest, but I think it's the funniest, and I want to do it like this. I hate how I set up a scene or I give a.
You have to play along. Yeah. Oh, you want to take this scene this way? Okay.
Exactly. Like I hand it to you in a way where I'm pretty sure you're gonna go that way with
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and all I want, and then you don't go that way with it, and even it could end up being funny.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, I'm so caught up on the fact that it went a different way than I had wanted. I'm like, fuck this.
But that's your improv training. They're like, accept the offer, yes, and it, and take the scene further.
I know, and I play along. I go with it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I give it to the person, and I play along. But inside, I'm like,
There's a weird.
I already
balance.
mapped out how I think this is gonna go.
Yeah.
I already mapped out all the offers.
Yeah.
And they're not happening like I want, and it's driving me crazy. But I'm smiling on the outside. I'm
But
just saying, we're
that's-
just having so much fun.
But that's why the scene doesn't get to go anywhere, because it's like that. The whole mentality is like, you guys literally need to fucking just say yes to everything and serve each other and just take this where it needs
and
to
not do questions.
go. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, avoid questions.
Yeah. Oh, the question thing is like they tell you like right off the bat, don't be like, is that
But
a fishing
why?
line?
Yeah.
They're like, assume that it's a fishing line and then take that somewhere.
yeah, that's a fishing line. Well, let's do this or something like that.
All,
Like you
all
gotta.
it does is it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even train you
Keeps
for
it
like
moving
heckling
forward.
or anything like that. Like people think, oh, because you do improv, you should be like a heckle master, and it's like, no.
No, not at all. There is no heck. I've never seen anybody heckle in improv. In improv, they're allowed to. They get a small window of time where they get to contribute. You know.
That's it. Yeah.
We're at a thing, and then like they close that window, and it's very clear. You don't
Yeah.
say anything until it's done, and people respect the fuck out of that. And also at improv, no, but at the improv show that I went to with part of the graduation thing, nobody's drunk.
No.
You know,
No.
it wasn't even alcohol at the thing. You know,
No. It's not stand up.
So it's not the same as stand up at all. Stand up is like the fucking Wild West. You get
It
drunk
is.
fucks.
Oh yeah.
You can't step on them too hard, and otherwise you kill the buzz of the audience.
For sure, dude.
Because like you step on someone too hard, the person next to them thinks, oh, like
Oh god, how is this gonna be?
exactly.
seen
Oh,
and,
this guy's. Oh, we better not say anything.
God,
you know what I
oh,
mean?
God,
This guy's
yeah.
going hard on people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. But that's what,
It's
dude.
a
That's
slip-
what improv. What does improv teach you at the end of the day? It just teaches you that when you bring up a subject, to commit to it and to take it somewhere. So if you're gonna go up there and talk about socks, you better be committed to that, and you better have shit to say about it, related things. That's what improv does. Is like if you're bringing up a scene about how you went fishing with your dad, think about all the things on the spot.
Yeah,
of
you may.
what-
It's not necessarily like you better have shit to say, because you may not have shit to say, but stay in it.
Stay in it.
Find what to say, you know?
And then you will eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Just
you
stay
just keep
in
going,
it.
it'll just happen. And that's it. It's just having an open mind and saying yes to everything, all the possibilities. Oh, the boat toppled. Okay, act that out. But the thing is, like,
Both taparu.
tapadu. But that's, you just, for me, improv was like, I'm burning too much calories. Like, I like to just like
Too much
stand there
movement.
and just be like, yeah, what's up, playboys?
Playboy. You know what I didn't like when it's like when the other people are doing stuff and I'm just like standing there and doing this thing. I have my hands on my head.
Yeah, you're just like a frozen happy tree. Yeah.
I'm like, I hate this inside. I'm like, I'm dying. I am dying inside right now.
Yeah.
I need to I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to like, let me do something right now.
And even entering a scene too, when you weren't part of the beginning of it, it's like when you come in, it's almost like because you're augmenting the scene, like you're really just bringing something great for the scene. Let's say two people are doing something, it's going nowhere, and you just jump in. Or let's say they're talking about like, I wonder when Dad's gonna get home, and then you come in and you're like, what's up? It's Pops. Like that sort of stuff too was very hard. The timing of that, like when they go like, you need timing in stand up. There's a lot of that in improv. You have to have that impeccable timing, because if you walk into a scene when you shouldn't have, people are sitting there like, oh God, watching that like, fucking Christ, why is this dude here now? Jesus.
True. This
is chaos.
There's a whole other group of things you got to figure out for that. It's its own art.
It's hard.
It's its own thing. I totally respect that. I'm shitting on it in the sense of like,
it's not for
all
you.
the things I didn't like about
it's
it.
not for
Because
you.
yeah, exactly. But you see people doing it at a high level. You're like, I
When you
sure
s-
can't do that.
When you see good
I for
improv,
sure can't do that.
you've seen good improv.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
exactly.
Good improv,
And I-
I'm like, whoa, these
Exactly.
guys are amazing.
That's what I'm saying. Like no one steps on anyone's toes,
They're
but there's
amazing.
no dead time.
No,
It's like
it's just
it's like
punchlines.
boom,
It's
boom,
literally just
boom.
punchlines.
It's like they're on point. I'm like, I definitely can't do that, and they're all like in the zone together.
dude, yeah.
So I respect
Second
it at a
City
high
shit
level,
is good.
but fuck it, it's not for me, bro.
Especially at the lower levels, like when you're going through A&E, there's a lot of people that aren't good, and you're also learning, and it's just like painful.
Yeah, it's shitty when you feel like you have that feeling. You're like, I feel like I'm like full time invested in trying to be funny. I'm doing stand up. I'm doing improv on the side.
Yeah.
The reason I did improv is because I got into acting, and my agent was like, "Yo, you don't have any background.
Yeah.
You got to go to Second City. You got to go to do
add
A
some
to
shit
A
your
to
thing.
E,
Yeah.
because that'll like jumpstart your acting resume."
Yeah.
So that's pretty much why I got in it. And everyone's like, "What do you do?" "Hi, I'm in finance and this." "Hey, I work at Red Lobster."
Yeah.
"Hey, you're the only comic here? You're the only person like trying to do comedy stuff?" No, everyone else is like trying to do it as like a way
hobby.
to like
Yeah.
either a hobby or some master plan to like jump their way through corporate. Some people like improv training because it like feeds into their promotion somehow.
yeah, I
like,
can-
oh, he went and got improv training at Second City
Yep.
and equipped himself with leadership skills that are going to become handy in his new
Leadership.
director role.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like,
he can give a presentation now because he's
and
not
yeah,
afraid.
exactly. Yes, and I learned this at Second City. That's like,
Yeah, and it's like
we
the
learned it.
worst
Yes,
shit ever.
and
Yeah. But
Shut
that's
the
why
fuck up.
the comic is the one that during his,
You're fired, Steve.
yeah,
Oh.
go home.
Yeah.
But the comic's the guy in the back of the room that just has like comments. So like when you start the presentation, Mr.
Yeah, he'll
Second
just
City
whisper
guy,
into the
fucking bitch. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like,
exactly.
the peanut gallery. That's what the comic is. I used to do that all the time in corporate. There was always like a presentation, and like there was once this lady, she was giving a presentation. She like opened the floor to questions, and I'm like, "Where's lunch?" Like that was my question. I raised my hand too, and I was like waiting, and she picked me. I'm like, "I think everybody wants to know where lunch is," and then everyone just burst out laughing
Dude.
because lunch was late. It wasn't there yet, and everyone's just sitting there hungry, not saying nothing, and she's just lecturing us about some shit no one cares. And I just literally like halfway through, she's like, "Did I lose anybody? Like, does anyone have any questions?" I'm like, "Yeah, right here." And
I
she's
did the
like,
exact same thing. I used to do program management for years, and I would host open issue tracker meetings on a weekly basis with like my team.
yeah.
So I would literally I'd host it. All right, the next item is this. Steve, do we have any updates on that? Crack a little joke, keep moving on, right? But like there'd be conference calls where I remember one time I used to work in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
In Silicon Valley, like in San Mateo actually. And I had to go to China for some work. And while I'm in China, I'm on a conference call with the other team
There you
in
go.
San Mateo.
There you go.
And like there's this back and forth. There's a team here, there's a team there. and like the VP is talking, and I did a joke that was at her expense, and everyone cracked up. And she goes, "Abbas, we're speaking after this," and everyone's like, "Oh,
Oh shit!
Some
Yeah.
fucking high school shit."
But that's the comic.
Yeah,
That's
literally. I'm
the
like,
comic.
fuck. And
The
she
comic
literally
can't resist
flew
it.
to China and told me, I will not have
Flew
your
to
poor. Yeah, she flew to
an
Suzhou where I
expensive-
was at.
Wow.
Well, she was coming either way, but
okay.
I said it
She
like
booked
she
it
flew
early,
there for
yeah.
this.
She booked it
No,
early.
she was coming either way. Make
Abbas,
the-
I am going to have a talk
Make
with
no
you.
mistake, she was coming.
Yeah.
But she comes, she meets me outside the building. She goes, I will not have your poor attitude jeopardize the morale of this team. Now, you tell me now, do you want to be here? Because I will fly you out of here. And I'm like, oh my, yeah. I'm like, no, I want to be better. I have a car lease and a rental, and I've built a life that is dependent on this salary because I'm a piece of shit and I hate my life.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to
need-
be.
yeah, yeah.
I need to be part of
I
this
need
team.
you.
I hated myself, but I went back
Or-
there. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I had to apologize.
Oh, God.
Put my tail between
Write a
my
letter.
legs. I couldn't, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was making
Yeah.
a bunch, but the more you
Yeah,
make, the
yeah.
more you spend.
I know. You should have just taken your dick out, because at that point,
What do you think of this, Gene?
yeah, no, because you dinged her, and
Yeah.
so she needs to, you know what I mean? Like she
Yeah,
feels like
she needs
got,
to. Yeah,
she's
she
got
needs
some-
to bark out.
she's
It's
got
like a
some built
female
up-
cop, you know?
Exactly. She's
At
got
the-
all that build up that
Yeah.
she's just like, this guy just like dinged me, like chirp me, and you take your dick out, and then she'll probably just suck it right away. She'd be like, all right.
It's like a female cop in like the training. All the male cops are making fun of her.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
Janet, her catch
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You'll see. Then she hits the road, ticketing everyone.
Yeah.
I was doing 3 over. You shut up. You don't
shut
speak
up,
back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're
Yeah.
all such bitches. You know?
Well, dude, corporate world is the nightmare. It's just there's so many things that are happening on the go, and you're just like, fuck, I don't want to be a part of this. Because you can see that people genuinely want to be there, and they want to take their career to like
To the next level.
and you're just sitting there like, buddy, this is fucking not for me.
This is not, you didn't know you were going to be at this company in this random role name 2 years ago, and now you're more invested in this than
Yeah, yeah.
anything else.
You're acting like this
you're
is the
trying
world.
like you just landed on this ladder. There's a million ladders, right?
Yeah.
Each ladder represents like a corporate ladder, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you applied to 100 of them. 6 of them interviewed you.
Yeah.
One of them gave you a job offer. Now you're committed to the ladder. Like, I'm going to climb all the way up it.
Yeah, and it's also sabotaged along the way too. It's snakes and ladders. Like it's just you're on your way.
Yeah, and then people tell you the key, if you want to make more, you can't do it. You got to jump out of the company,
Yeah,
and then
dude.
you come back as director. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
It's like, hey, I don't want to do any of this.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Is
just a
that
lot.
also acceptable? Like that,
Well,
I resent all of this.
Because you want to do other shit with your time. That's it. It's the bandwidth thing. Comes back to like how much energy do you have for how many things.
What kicked off your first set?
So
So you did improv, just chilled for 3 years. Then what happened?
yeah, then I was like, I guess I was just like doing life stuff. Like I went to Asia for 5 months. Like I was dating a girl. You know, I was doing all that.
Also
like,
for
date
5
night.
months. Doing a lot of stuff for 5 months.
No, like the Asia thing, I went alone. Like I wasn't dating her. Just shit. Like I was just doing stuff that I thought I needed to do to become more well-rounded, just
Yeah.
as like a person who has experience.
Yeah, like literally, like learn, see, do. You know,
Learn some stuff and about yourself and whatever and all that cheesy bullshit. And
Yeah.
then
Find
and then-
yourself.
And then what happened is like all my friends got married, all those weekend, like let's go clubbing, all that shit just died out. And I'm like, hey, I think now's a good time to start. Like I was always thinking about it, but I was like, I already knew that I was like too young and I didn't really have anything to talk about besides like jerk off stories and like girls that are hot.
Porn. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I didn't really have a hot take on stuff. And then the older you get, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Fuck that.
The years really do
Or fuck
add a
that
lot.
thing.
Yeah.
you
and
know?
then you start to really analyze shit better. And
Yeah.
it's just like
no, I don't like that.
that's
I
it.
know we can't say that, but fuck that.
That's it. Yeah.
That's stupid.
enough.
The straw thing is stupid.
Yeah.
You can't give me a paper straw and a plastic cup. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? Why is this
Yeah.
cup all plastic? The lid is plastic.
Exactly. Get out of my house. How'd you get in here with all these fucking bullshit cameras?
Right.
I have straws in the cellar. There's a bunch.
Fuck, dude. But man, thank you. Yo, I want to get you out of here so you can avoid this traffic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and I gotta piss like a fucking racehorse.
Okay, perfect. Yo, plug. What's your gram plug? Anything you want to plug? I don't know if you're
I
doing
don't
shows
have
anywhere or
anything.
anything.
I don't plug myself. I'm
That's my
useless.
boy, man. This guy is real as fuck. This guy is that's how you know a comic is real when they go plug
got-
what?
I
Just
got
come see me
nothing.
at the shows.
I'm useless. Yeah.
That's
Like,
my boys.
come or don't come.
Always. Well, for me, if you're listening on Apple, rate, review, subscribe, YouTube. Check out these videos. These episodes come out on the following Wednesday. The audio released on Tuesday. Leave 5 stars. Say something nice. Tell your friends about the Immigrant section. And as always, for me, thanks so much for dropping by. Peace.
Peace. Thanks, buddy.